be a cocaine dealer, you need to know the risks. If you're black, you're about 4 times as likely to be arrested than a white dealer, which is counterintuitive because white Americans buy and sell more cocaine than anyone else.
It's the circumstances to where they're actually setting up to sell the drugs, the locations. See, the black drug dealers will be in the neighborhoods where the law enforcement search people without very much reasoning.
I mean, my first case, it was like a fluke. A guy was running. He ran where we were at. I happened to be just standing outside. And the police said, hey, get up against the fence. And I'm like, man, come on. Why I gotta get up against the fence? Shut up. Next thing you know, they pulled this big brick out of my pocket. So that was the beginning of the end right there.
You're not only more likely to be arrested, but prosecuted with heavy prison time.
The reason that 94.5% of the people incarcerated under the Rockefeller drug laws are black and brown is that's the way the DAs operate.
Business mogul Russell Simmons spent years lobbying against the harsh Rockefeller drug laws of New York City, which treated the nonviolent crime of drug dealing the same as murder.
I mean, imagine you're a model, you know, a fashion model, and you're like some blonde girl. It doesn't matter where you're from, you're not going to jail. And if you're some guy from the hood, maybe you'll go to jail for 20 years.
Hell, they tried to give me 45 years. So I did a lot of time. I did like 5 years straight, something like that.
And the white drug dealer will be in middle America, somewhere in the suburbs, that isn't in a space where he can just be searched for no reason at all or go to jail.
Curtis Jackson, Russell Simmons, and many others have successfully persuaded New York to reduce some of their harsh sentencing practices. But 90% of those convicted on drug charges are still African American and Latino. Like they say for any business, the golden rule: location, location, location.
I didn't care about people who knew where I lived. People would just come to my house and I would go outside and just give them the gram. We would do the transaction that way. In 2003, I was the main coke dealer for all the private schools in LA.
Meet Mike Waldsman. If you're going to be a private coke dealer, this is the way to go. In a nice suburban neighborhood, selling to the largest cocaine market directly. Mike was a big partier and already knew where to buy cocaine for him and his friends. So he was in a perfect position to go into business for himself.
What's going on through my head is to start selling drugs to support my habit and to support the lifestyle that I wanted. People want drugs, so I can sell drugs because I know where to get it already. My first rock was about this big, and I remember showing my friends this. They were like, no fucking way you have this big of a rock with you right now. Like, this is insane. And it wasn't like, stop doing this. It was like, this is awesome, this is exciting. The stories that grew out of me being the coke dealer just went from this to like, you know, this. And I was suddenly, you know, the guy, you know, that everyone's talking about. I threw a party in the Le Mergiat Hotel and I got like the penthouse suite. I've always wanted to be loved and accepted. And that's what selling coke gave me. It gave me that power, it gave me the feeling of acceptance. It was definitely addictive to be a drug dealer. Not only the money that you got from it, but the way people talked about you, the way people looked at you, the power that I felt from it. I just liked having money. It gave me security, it made me feel good. People don't know what's a gram and what's not a gram. They've never seen coke before in their life. The market rate for a gram was about $50 for coke, but if you're a rich girl who didn't know anything, I would probably sell you 0.5 for about $60 to $75.
A guy like Mike makes half as much as our Detroit dealer, working half as hard, but with virtually none of the risk.
The word got out that I have coke and I'm selling coke. The dean in the school, they pulled me in and they said, hey, look, you know, we're hearing that you're selling drugs and we want to do a drug test on you. So at that point, you know, I thought to myself, well, I better really slow down on this and not do it anymore.
Mike failed his drug test and was kicked out of school, but never did any hard time.